Hello and welcome back to my basement. This is Jeremiah Wolf, and today I took the Cisco 300-710 Securing Networks with Cisco Firepower exam, and I passed, although just barely. Now, listen, before we get into it, I know there's a lot of you who are immediately jumping on your keyboards and saying, "Why the heck are you doing this? Cisco security is dead. No one uses Cisco firewalls. They're garbage." And listen, after spending quite a bit of time preparing for this exam, I can say that to a certain extent, I agree with you. To a bigger extent, though, no. That is the perception. However, I will say this: a couple things. One, Cisco still has a massive market share when it comes to firewalls. Nothing like it used to be, but it's still really big. Second, uh, we'll see what's going to happen. Cisco has made some really bad choices over the past decade in regard to their security um, offerings, and it looks like, I don't know if there was a change up at management or what's going on, but they seem to finally be addressing this cluster that has been their security offerings. It's getting not just better, but much better. And I think that in the next, maybe it's probably going to take a couple years, there's a very good chance that they're really going to turn this around. Their product offerings are starting to solidify, and I think they're positioning themselves that if they haven't killed the brand, that they might be able to come back from this stronger than ever in security, primarily just because they have this massive suite. And when you really get into modern securing a modern network, you need this massive suite, and they really got all the bases covered. They're starting to get it all working together properly. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they won't. Maybe the ship has sailed for Cisco security, but they do have still a pretty big market share, and it's still a thing. And I wanted to slash needed to take this test, so I did. So please don't give me a bunch of shit about it. It's just what I wanted slash needed to do. So real quick, all right, here's my score report. Pass, it doesn't give you a score, but as you can see, I didn't. Oops, where are we at? I didn't do great. I did not do great. In fact, I suspect I barely passed. This was rough, man. This was rough. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. There's my score. Not great. Integration, we'll talk more about that in a moment. I guess the rest, I wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. Um, okay, how long did I spend studying for this? I spent about 4 weeks. Is that, yeah, about 4 weeks studying for this. Um, I thought it would be easier, and it really ate up a lot of my time. It was pretty rough getting through. It was very difficult. So um, let's take a look real quick. First thing to go over is the exam topics. So take a look at the exam topics. They were right on. The one thing that I did not give enough attention to, well, as you can see by my report, was the integration section. I did not spend enough time on these things, partially for two reasons. One, it's this aspect of Cisco is still a bit of a mess. Like, for example, describe using Cisco Secure X. You go to the Cisco Secure X website, it's an end-of-life product. It's on the exam, but it's an end-of-life product. And the thing that's crazy is um, they only update the blueprint like every minimum, like 6 months. So this is going to be on the exam for months and months, maybe a year, when it's not even a product you can buy anymore. That's just how quickly Cisco is changing their security offerings. You go to there was a part of Cisco's website I went to for a different one of their security tools, and it has a big giant banner. And this was a up to date website, part of Cisco.com, big giant banner introducing our new Cisco Secure X. Then you click on the banner, and it says end of life. So look, I'm not trying to deny that Cisco's security offerings are a mess. I think they're starting to put some energy into getting it fixed, and I hope they do because I'm a Cisco fanboy and I want to be for a long time. But anyway, which isn't to say, I'll tell you between you and me, I within the next 6 months I will absolutely, without question, be getting certified in either Palo Alto or Fortinet. We'll see which one it is, or maybe both. I don't know. Um, so I have no illusions that Cisco is the only guy in town, not even remotely. Okay. So again, spend some time with this. Yeah, that was the other thing. Was one of the reasons I didn't do particularly well in this was a lot of this stuff is hard to practice in lab. So there you go. Maybe in the I don't know. I don't know how. I didn't really spend a lot of time looking into it. Maybe there are ways to do it, but whatever. Okay. So other tools that we used. I used the official cert guide. This is the old version. A new version is coming out, and it will be out probably I think a month or two from now. And I would probably hold off to see what the new cert guide. Wait for that. There have been so many changes. Both to the blueprint, but more specifically to the tools themselves, that it might be worth waiting for the new cert guide. Although I can all but guarantee that there will be part of that new book, even as it hits the shelves, that will be out of date. What I like about the cert guide is it's a textbook, but it's also like a lab guide. It's not perfect. In the way that it is a lab guide, but it does okay, we're going to do this, then we're going to build on it, then we're going to build on it and build on it. But then there are some areas where you suddenly just flip the script and you have to build a whole new lab to start testing what he's talking about. And he doesn't really talk about that too much. That's a little annoying, but mostly each chapter kind of builds on the previous. So you have one lab set up and you can just keep going back to the same lab and changing things and updating things and doing the new tasks. So I like that. In terms of labbing, I used EvenG. I had to set up a couple different labs to do everything, but worked good. The licenses allow you for 90 days of almost all the features unlocked. If you're unaware, and the book actually covers that. I think it's actually licensing was on the test, and Cisco licensing is a bit of a mess, so be aware of that. But it's on the blueprint. Yeah, so that was that. Now, okay, here's the thing. Let's get real. The official study guide, the labbing is absolutely key. I will tell you this, that a lot of the questions, the way they are written as gotchas unless you use the product. If you use the product and you're familiar with it, the questions aren't that bad. And I didn't do too good, so maybe don't listen to what I'm saying, but I still passed. But there was a lot of questions where because I had done it several times and I was familiar with the process, I was like, oh, this is the only possible answer. But if you've read about it and you haven't really done it a lot, there were little gotchas that could throw you off. So I'm trying to say is this test seems to be built in such a way that the questions are designed to sort of ensure that this is something you've actually spent time working on and not just read a book about. So labbing is key. But the official cert guide, not enough. Not even remotely. It maybe covered 50% of what was on my exam. Now again, I have the out-of-date version. Maybe the new version covers more of what's on the blueprint. But holy cow, I couldn't believe how lacking it was. And to that end, where was I at? So what else did I have to study? I studied the Cisco FMC Device Configuration Guide, 2,700 pages. The Cisco FMC Administration Guide, 1,000 pages. So there you're at 2,800 pages, 2,900 pages. You'd probably want to check out the Snort Configuration Guide, 150 pages. And don't forget again, these integrations. So you're going to want to read up, particularly on AMP for endpoints. I would recommend being relatively familiar with the day-to-day operations of AMP for endpoints. I was not prepared for the number of questions about, Cisco Secure Endpoint. I will say this is part of why I have hope. Is it looks like for the past however long, the security group at Cisco has been run by a salesperson. And they said, we need more marketing gimmicks. We need more buzzwords. And so we had AMP. You had all this stuff. And now it's, what is it? Cisco Secure Firewall Malware Defense. That makes sense. You know exactly what you're getting. Cisco Secure Endpoint. You know what it is. You read the title, you know what it is. This Cisco Secure X. What does that do? I don't know. I have no idea. But it's been replaced with, I think Intelligence Director replaces it. I forget. But anyway, they're starting to like rename things so that they actually make sense. Integrating things, fixing the UI of things, fixing the workflows, fixing little features that should have been there for a long time. So anyway, I'm getting off track. All right, so that's pretty much it. I don't want this to be a long video. This was a difficult test. The study material was very difficult because the configuration guide just simply doesn't cut it. You need a lot more. You spend a lot of time in the lab, and you need to spend a lot of time reading the documentation. Man, years and years and years ago, 20 years ago at this point, almost 20 years ago, when I first got my CCNP security, which was brand new or very new at the time, there was no study material, and I had to do the whole thing reading documentation, and it fucking sucked. And it looks like we're still there. Not because these products are new or because the certification is new. It's just that things are changing so fast that the books just don't keep up. You got to read documentation. So it's rough. That's about it. Okay. Anything else I want to say? No. Hey, good luck if you're looking at this exam. It's rough. You can do it. And I'm going to be doing the VPN specialization next. I hope to have it finished out in a couple weeks. I'm already about halfway through. So hopefully in a couple weeks I'll see another video about me finishing that up. We'll see. It is almost Christmas time, so maybe I should just take some time off. I don't know. Oh, hey, what's that on the wall back there? Huh? Look at that. It's on the wall. See you later.